And what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Fatality, a Mortal Kombat retrospective. I am your host, the Fluff Master Supreme, the one who knows the combos to make Sindel scream, Mr. Big Johnny D. And allow me to introduce my beloved co-host. You know him as the DKB. That's Saucy Alcy. Allow me to introduce Brody Kano Kane.
Howdy, howdy, mother lickers.
Today is April 17th. It's the Fluff Master's birthday. Fuck yeah.
Happy motherfucking birthday, brother.
Thank you, buddy. And I can honestly say I am doing, my wife's like, do you really want to do a podcast on my birthday? I'm like, yo, I'm going to be hanging out with my homie. I'm going to be talking Mortal Kombat. Is there anything more I'd really not want to do on my birthday? So fuck yeah, dude. I'm happy to do this. I'm happy to be here. And randomly enough, next week we're doing Brody's birthday on it. It's beautiful.
Fucking oath. Ties in perfectly.
Right. So before what we discuss what we're going to talk about today, we like to do a little segment here that we call Slice and Dice. So Brody, how you been, brother?
I've been very well, Mr. Johnny D. I've been very well. Recorded a new episode of Lights, Camera, Exploitation yesterday with very my nice homies Nick Reese and TJ Bowser. And we reviewed a Brian De Palma film called Dress to Kill. So be sure to look out for that. That's a very fun episode. Great film too, if you haven't seen it. Highly, highly recommended. But yeah, other than that, mate, not too much. Just working flat out, getting prepped for this new fucking movie that's coming out this week. Super excited.
Quick question for you, buddy. Wasn't it in this last week that you guys got the bad news?
Absolutely. It was heartbreaking because I honestly thought I was going to see it this week. Oh, sorry. Just gone.
Or no, I'm sorry. And you're right. You were going to see it Thursday, correct? The 15th.
Yes. I was meant to be seeing it Thursday, but then they come out at the last minute and said, no, you can get it a week later. So it basically puts us on par with America. So I think it comes out the 22nd here and it's the 23rd for yous. Am I correct?
Yep.
Yes. So I'll be probably seeing it. A day in early. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to not be able to talk to you about the film, but it's only 24 hours. So it should be okay.
Oh, I know, dude.
Especially, I think it was Josh Lawson that's playing Kano in the film when he put up that Instagram video of his audio recording of, I've just been trying to guess what sort of scene it is. You know, he doesn't die in it, because he actually gets his breath back. So, like
I said, I think it's personally the Sonya scene where he's fighting her in the desert that we've seen a few quick snippets of in here and there. But yeah, very nice.
It's been tough. Like YouTube have been putting up a few spoilers here and there. They put up yesterday. It was like the very first thing when I went into YouTube. It was oh shit, who was it?
Was it the spoilers in the title?
Nah. Oh, no, it was the fight between my God.
Kung Lao.
The fuck is that?
Is it Kung Lao Natara? Spoil out. I think everybody kind of figures that one's coming, but
fuck me. How do I feel so embarrassed now. I can't even think of his fucking name.
Liu Kang?
It was Liu Kang and fucking yes, Cabal. Okay. Fuck me.
Brother, this is why I'm here for you, man. It's okay.
Thanks for helping me out. That was a struggle. I was sort of stroked out then.
You know what it is, dude? You were just getting riled up because you just got fucked out of a week from seeing the movie again, like we did. And
my head's not right in the game at the moment. Audio listeners, it's really done some damage to me. So, all right. But needless to say, I'm super excited for that. What about you, Mr. Johnny D?
Oh well, so obviously celebrating the birthday today. Celebrated my wife's birthday yesterday, so happy belated to my bubbies.
Birthday.
Yeah, so we went and saw The Unholy last night. It was good. It wasn't great. It was enjoyable. It was a fun movie. I think the easiest way I could say it without being spoiler review, and I know that this doesn't necessarily return to our Fatality podcast, but it kind of goes with our other horror podcast a little bit. like I told you, buddy, I wish it was an R so we could have pushed the bar a little bit farther. I understand PG-13 is a broader range and you can get more people in there. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So while we didn't get what I would have personally liked for our level of our entertainment for horror, which does go with Mortal Kombat, it was good. I thought the acting was great. You get Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who's always like, you know, a hunky stud. So you can't really go wrong with him. And you get fucking Robin of Loxley, which I was Carrie. Oh my God, dude. What the hell's his last name? Oh my God, I can't believe I'm farting on it.
Was it William Slate? Is it Slater? Oh, I don't know.
It's Carrie, isn't it? It's Carrie L. Oh my God, dude. Fucking Princess Bride. Goddamn Robin Hood Men in Tights. Oh, I can't believe I'm fucking brain farted on this shit, dude. Anyways, he was great. He played that Boston preacher and everything. But no, it was a fun movie.
Carrie Elwes.
Thank you.
Carrie
Yes.
Yeah. And sorry, and William Sadler was the other bloke I was thinking of.
Oh, was he the
priest.
Guy with the lung issue?
No, he was the priest. The
younger one
that had the older priest that was the uncle to the
the guy with the lung thing. Okay.
Okay.
No, it was a fun movie. Like I said, I had a great time. I haven't got out to the theaters just with my wife to see a horror movie since the new Child's Play. So it's been a fucking minute. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
Right? Other than that, I have been literally counting down the fucking minutes till Friday. And I was going to bring this up before the podcast, but I figured it'd be good, some good banter here. So, as I mentioned to you prior, sir, the IMAX that's 45 minutes away from me is opening up that day.
Ooh.
Saying that, at first the websites were having issues and everything. It's all good to go. I checked it earlier today. I could book my tickets and everything. I'm like, oh, here we go. Right. So here comes the dilemma of time slots. Now, I've never seen an IMAX movie. I feel this movie particularly would be phenomenal in IMAX. However, they have another theater experience which I never really looked into until today, and they have a 4DX theater. Are you familiar with this?
No, I am not.
All right. So supposedly this is fourth dimensional theater experience.
Yeah, right.
So that being said, this motherfucker has movable seats. So it's like a theme ride almost, but for the movie. So it's got movable seats. It's got smoke. It's got lightning strobe effects. And it throws water at you for like water scenes and shit like that. So in my mind, my wife is reading this description off to me. And I'm just like, dude, this might be the most like perfect fucking movie to watch in that thing. Because, okay, you think about when we're just that scene alone where Sub-Zero's walking down the street, dude, and he throws all them fucking icicles, dude, like right on the ground.
Oh,
You're telling me they're not going to hit you with water in the face when that shit happens, dude? Like, I'm at a dilemma, buddy. Do I go IMAX or do I go 4DX? Now 4DX only has one showing. So, right, it's tight. IMAX has got like 4 the opening day. IMAX is a much bigger screen also and a different experience, but this 4DX, I don't know, man. It's kind of like tempting, you know what I'm saying?
Especially with the fatalities and that blood, you know. I dare say they would throw some water on you as if to say the blood in some scenes.
Any of that, dude. Like, and then especially with like the seats moving, like if somebody's getting put like a good punch and they get thrown back, you know what I mean? Like your seat might like, I don't know, dude. Like,
it's a gamble. It's a gamble, dude. Mate. But however, it does sound fucking epic. I've never even heard of this at all. Is it a new thing?
It's newer, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think it's new per se. I think it's been out for a while, but I mean, dude, they only have one showing, so I imagine the setup for this thing has got to suck if they're only, you know what I mean? Like, or the cleanup or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that they only have one showing, but it's like supposed to be like almost like. But they did say, or at least some people that have checked this shit out, it can sometimes be a little distracting from the movie in itself.
Yes.
So with the seat like jarring around or like, you know what I mean? Like snapping you at a moment that you're definitely not expecting, it might like make you like look at your seat more than like, you know what I mean? Like pay attention to the movie.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be a tough one. It's a tough one, dude. What would you do?
I don't know, because I would love to experience that. Like, I think it was like even when you were a kid, you just really wanted to like. For instance, you'd be watching a cooking show and you'd like to smell the smell come through the TV. Mm-hmm. This is sort of in that sense of like, I don't know, physicality type.
That was a part of it too. There's smells. I forgot about that.
Oh,
there's smells to it too, right? So,
yeah, I always wanted that feeling when I was a kid. Like, I don't know, it's a fucking tough one.
It reminds me of the horror gimmicks of like the late 50s. You know what I mean? Like, to the extreme, which is fucking awesome. But,
dude,
decisions.
I'm glad I'm still leaning
I'm still thinking I'm leaning towards IMAX though. You know what I mean, dude? Like, I'm not saying the 40X wouldn't be dope, but that might be like, if I ever got a second viewing and I got the chance to get out there, then maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Because then I already seen the movie. So then like, now I get to experience the other bullshit with it, I guess. I don't know.
You're probably better off playing it safe that way. At least you'll get to experience it like visually beautiful in that sense. So
absolutely.
Or that's probably what I would do anyway. I'd play it safe and just go to the IMAX. But just saying, that's something that I would do.
It's not a bad idea, sir. Like I said, that's kind of where I'm leaning. But other than that, let's fuck all that bullshit. Let's talk about what the fuck we are here to talk about today.
Yeah.
That is we're talking spin-offs, baby. And we're starting just with the first two. Because the next one we love so much that we're going to dedicate probably the whole episode to. And well, if you're wondering, John, why the fuck are you on round 6 when this is only your 4th live episode? Well, God damn it, we did it again last week. We didn't go full Snyder, but goddamn, we went Snyder minus the epilogue this time, so we didn't have that extra 30-minute breakdown at the end. But we went a little ham talking about MK9, and then I think we went over an hour on that bitch alone, and then we had to fucking wrap it up with X and 11 in the last like hour or so. So we wanted to like minuscule it down, keep it tight. So today we are talking, well, we'll start with the first game. We're talking Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Sub-Zero, made in 1997. From developer Midway Games and for PS or PlayStation, and Avalanche Software for Nintendo 64. Publishers is Midway Games. Directors is Dimitros Tianis and Bill O'Neill. Producers is John Tobias, Dimitros Tianis again, and Michael Gottleby. I think it's I apologize if I'm butchering these names. Designers, John Tobias. Artist, of course, Mr. Tobias himself, because he's been a main artist since the fucking OG. Joshua Y. Sewell and Carlos Pencia. I can't believe I just fucked that up. There's another day we've been reading since the fucking first episode. I just fucked that up. Wow. Stroking all over the place. And our composer, our beloved Mortal Kombat composer for the longest of times, Mr. Dan Forden.
Yeah.
Buddy, you want to take it away?
That I can, mate. So in this iteration of Mortal Kombat, we play as Baihan, also known as Sub-Zero, who was on a quest to retrieve an ancient amulet for the mysterious sorcerer known as Quan Chi. We have not only been tasked on this mission, but our rival Hanzo Hasashi, aka Scorpion, has been as well, as we travel through various lands to retrieve the map of elements, which takes us to the ancient temple in the Himalayan mountains. There you need to take on 4 guardians representing Earth realm's elements: wind, earth, fire, and water. Once obtained, we find out that Quan Chi will use the amulet to free Shinnok, a once elder god now imprisoned in the Netherrealm. From there, Raiden, god of thunder, tasks us to retrieve the amulet back and put a stop to the sorcerer's plans.
Dum bum bum. Alrighty, so usually we jump into characters right now, and we are going to, but I'm gonna do this a little. This is gonna be a little weird. I should have did it a different way, and I apologize. But we're gonna watch the trailer for Mortal Kombat Mythologies.
Sub-Zero must steal a sacred map from an ancient Shaolin temple, but soon delves into a journey that will take you into the darkest depths of the MK legend. An incredible prequel adventure game based on the amazing legends behind the MK fighters you've grown to love and fear.
Yeah. Smoke. I could not, and I apologize, I could not find an HD version of this trailer.
It doesn't deserve a HD.
All new MK characters, awesome new allies, bad news bosses, and savage sub-bosses. MK Mythologies Sub-Zero from Midway.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I don't know about you, man, but that trailer as a 12-year-old fucking sold me in a heartbeat.
I can't say that I ever saw the trailer as a kid.
Fair. There was actually a couple different ones, dude. I remember, and like I think one focused more on the actual like live action actors for the movies.
Yeah.
And then this one obviously was more of the gameplay based.
Is that the live action characters we get in this game?
Yeah, the PMVs, which we will discuss momentarily.
Yes.
But so, all right, before we even break into characters, obviously, I feel like most people know what Mythologies is. And if you don't, simple breakdown is it's Mortal Kombat's first adventure to something different. And this was coming out right around the same exact time. Actually, I think just a slight pinch before Mortal Kombat 4. Both were 97. I think it was like maybe like a 4-month, maybe 6-month gap. Just coming in like, so they want to do something different. They wanted to expand the universe. Obviously, they have all this huge backstory, back lore for all these characters. It's been building up over the last 3 games, plus the 2 extra additions to the 3rd game, which we've discussed. But yeah, this was something, spin-offs can be good, spin-offs can be bad. And I think we all know that. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I think one of the biggest spin-offs that we all know and love is probably Mario Kart, which is just all your Mario people fucking thrown into a kart racer, but they do it fucking phenomenal. Mortal Kombat Mythologies, it could be, yeah. It's hit or miss. So, you want to give us a rundown on the characters, buddy, and who we get in this game?
So we get Sub-Zero, Quan Chi, Raiden, Serena, Kia, Chitaka, Shinnok, Wind God, who is Fujin, Water God, who is Glacier. Is it Glaciers?
Okay, so I should have gave you a forewarning on this. This was just me kind of being an asshole, but all right. So you know the Water God from obviously the Water Temple. I'm sure you've seen it, and if you didn't play it, watch the video. Anybody listening, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've ever played Killer Instinct, I want to say Killer Instinct came out in 95. No, I'm not saying this was trying to be a deliberate rip off of Killer Instinct by any means, but I think art imitates art, as we all know. And you would not, there is no way in fucking hell you would show me a video of this boss and not literally think Glacius if you've ever fucking played or if you've ever played Killer Instinct. He literally is an ice weird, like just a humanoid figure with a blank face and eyes. He morphs into a little fucking T-1000 puddle and fucking travels all around the fucking level and fucking comes back up and always does this like crazy uppercut. and he does ice moves and stuff like that, and like water moves. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking Glacius. so I should have forewarned you when I threw that in the notes, but at the same time, I was like, hey, we'll see how this goes.
That's all good, mate. No, all good. So we got the Lin Kuei Grandmaster, Scorpion, Earth God, Fire God, and Shang Tsung.
Yeah. So we get a nice little roster. Obviously, we get some newer characters exposed into this. Nobody that we unfortunately ever really get in fighters except, well, I shouldn't say that because there's a few. So the Wind God, who was not known as Fujin at this time when they were making it, was obviously added into MK4. We also get Quan Chi, of course, which Quan Chi was phenomenal in this, as well as Shinnok. And I think we have notes about that, especially with Mr. Brody for later. But we did get Serena eventually coming up in Armageddon, which was kind of a nice little addition, a nice little tie into the whole franchise of the sort. Yes. So going on that. So you said you had some notes, buddy. Do you want to throw them in now, or do you want to do them after the behind the scenes? Where are you feeling?
Oh no, I just sort of had like my list of like what was good and what was bad about the film.
Fair enough. Okay.
Game. But yeah. No, we can talk about that after the behind the scenes stuff if you like anyway.
Alrighty, so why don't we hit them behind the scenes, buddy? Why don't you take it away?
So this is the first Mortal Kombat game done as a platformer adventure game.
Which we obviously mentioned before. It was an interesting dynamic. I feel like these guys should have studied platformers just a touch more.
Oh, yes.
I mean, and I don't have this in the show notes or the behind the scenes per se, but as you probably know, one of the biggest part of this platformer is how much closer your enemies are right on your ass before you even can get a chance to fucking attack them, or let alone know they're even there.
That was actually in my notes.
Yeah, dude, it's
a motherfucker because they just snake up on you. Like the camera doesn't even follow you straight away. Like it waits until you get to the right side or the left side of the screen before it moves. Until it moves, your fucking enemy's already there beating your ass. So it's like,
right. Proper platformers would put you in a 50-50 parcel. You know what I mean? So you get each side of the screen. It might move you a little bit, but it's not going to go more than that. Dude, this shit, you're like, a third of the screen is in front of you and 2/3 of the screen is behind you doing fucking dick. So this game is actually quite relenting in that fact, I would think. But
absolutely.
Take it away, brother.
This is also the first Mortal Kombat game since the original Mortal Kombat.
I fucking wrote science in there. I should have checked that. Sorry, buddy.
That's all good. I'll try to.
Nice. No, that was good. You caught that well.
To reuse the character Baihan, to which before it was known that he actually became Noob Saibot. I'm stroking out hard today.
Right. You and I both, buddy.
God
it's one of them days. It's all good.
This was the very last Mortal Kombat title to use digitalized actors. And that was what I actually really liked about this game, to be honest. They brought back that old school feel of the first three.
Yeah. And keeping with the aesthetic, they brought the control scheme as well, yes. Which is great if you know Mortal Kombat, but not necessarily great for a platformer. I think my biggest fucking gripe with this game, and it was something I never realized, and you might even have this in your notes. It wasn't even something I realized until we were researching for the show, because it's been a while since I fucking played this shit, dude. I was a fucking kid then. But the fucking turnaround button.
Ah, yes.
What that was the fuck is that? Just for everybody to know, Brody's from Australia, so that's a lot more accepted.
Thanks.
All good, yes. No. But yeah, what the fuck is a turnaround button, dude? that should just be back on your D-pad if somebody's facing that way. You know what I mean? Like,
that's right. It automatically turn it around. What was actually the button for it? Was it like X or some shit?
So I was actually just playing. I was dabbling through a N64 port of this game for the show, and I don't know if you're familiar with the N64 controller. However, remember how it had a B and A, but then it had your C buttons, which became the secondary joystick. But it still had your up. So your C button for the 64 was your main buttons for your PlayStation, which would be triangle, square, circle, and X. And then your turnaround button, I think, was like either the A or B, and I can't remember whatever the fuck the other one was. But it's because you had so many buttons, it was actually easy. Where like the PlayStation, man, you're using all your fucking bumpers and like every fucking which thing, dude. And there's drawbacks to both games or both versions. You know what I mean? Like PlayStation, you get the movies, and that's what I feel is like the best part of this game. And then like obviously 64, you get, well, you know what? I don't even want to say that. We got more shit to talk about the 64 in there. So why don't you keep that going, buddy?
Cool beans. So if the player decides to set the game to easy or lower, they will not be allowed to progress past the fire temple.
Damn.
They really make it difficult for you.
Right? Like the game's already hard, but they're just like, yeah, but if you really want to beat it, you got to do it. Fucking A.
Absolutely. The Nintendo 64 version used static frame images instead of the FMV, which is full motion video, cutscenes that were featured on the PlayStation version. However, the game's graphics were actually smoother with better textures in contrast to the pixelated ones on PlayStation. There were also some minor differences in character dialogue.
Yes. Just because obviously they could do it. It was more like text-based and things like that. Very nice. Yo, side note, real quick. I just got a message from the boss man. Yes. So for any of our fans out there that might be potentially wrestling fans as well, supposedly, now this is word on the street, obviously, Dustin Rhodes is teasing a potential MK themed outfit on AEW next Wednesday.
Ooh.
So we will see how that goes. Oh wow.
Is there an image?
So let's see. You know what? We'll keep talking. Let me see if I can get this image up here, and then if I can, I'll pop it up.
Absolutely. So, the events of the game have been referenced multiple times within the newer timeline to Mortal Kombat 9 to present, meaning that the story and mythologies essentially went in the same way as it had in the previous timeline. So this was even further confirmed in the new Mortal Kombat 11 expansion Aftermath during a fight with Fujin and Noob Saibot, who is Baihan.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool, actually. I didn't know that until researching for this episode. I mean, I played Aftermath, and obviously, dude, they've been not into mythologies in like every game, but Mortal Kombat does that, dude. It always alludes back to itself as best it can. And there was another thing I found out, which I didn't even get to throw in behind the scenes. I just found out today, and I can't believe I didn't recognize it, but you know what I mean? It's just one of those like very subtle things that if you haven't played it enough, you're not going to. In MK versus DC, they literally do a scene for scene copy of when Sub-Zero is climbing up the mountain to go up to the one of the Lin Kuei temples.
Yes.
And yeah, I was just like, oh my God, that's fucking amazing. Like, dude, it just blew my mind. It was amazing. I was like, and then when you think back, you're like, holy shit, dude, it really fucking is. Like him, it's the same fucking, like it shows down and show him reaching up and fucking coming over. And yeah, fucking great, dude.
That's one thing I actually really like about this game is those like those sequences that we get in between the levels. And Quan Chi looks fucking amazing. Like he actually looks like a movie character, or the character from Mortal Kombat 4.
So Can I ask why did Quan Chi look so great, but then Sub-Zero looked like a fucking C version porn ripoff of fucking Sub-Zero?
He was like, yeah, he was staunching around like a fucking scarecrow half the time.
I figured like he did that because like, he's just swole. Like, he's like, fucking huge, dude. But like, okay, like even as a 12-year-old, like you were still just eating this shit up.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Yeah, like Quan Chi looked like a legit like cosplayer came in, dude, and you're just like, damn. And Sub-Zero was just like a dude who wanted to attempt it, and he had like $30 and he did what he could do.
You could get a better outfit for $30 on eBay.
You probably fucking can, dude. Like you probably get to use rubies or some bullshit. Oh man. But no, okay, so hands down, dude, this game for me was all about the PMVs. You know what I mean, dude? Like you played it just so you could watch the movies more so than the actual gameplay. Yeah, I guess if that makes sense. It was cool that they kept like the MK3 style combos and like, and it was interesting. I mean, you're talking 97, so I feel like that's kind of coming around the Resident Evil and everything. And not that like inventory screens by any means are fucking a new thing at that point. You know what I mean? Like obviously they've been around for like since Zelda and all that other shit. But it was interesting because this just wasn't your basic platformer. It was almost kind of like a platformer RPG, knowing that you have this whole inventory screen where you got to have health potions and you keep all your keys. And this game was so relenting. You had to check every nook and cranny, or else if you missed a key, you might be 3 levels ahead and you don't fucking have that shit. And there's no way you can go, you know what I mean? Like
you had to go back.
Or like you had to reset the game or something just because like it was a main fucking key. Yeah, this game is hard.
It fucking is.
And it was one of those ones where I feel the hype of it because it was an MK game is what gave it more of its power than it just being a great game.
Yep.
And I might get some fucking flack. We might get some flack for this thought. But dude, go out and fucking if you can't get a copy, and good luck if you could find one. Obviously, you could probably get it on an emulator, no problem. It's a fucking tough game, and dude, Brody loves Sub-Zero. I fucking love Sub-Zero, and the promise of this game was the promise to give us more in the mythologies time, like game verse, I'll say. But unfortunately, this one game fucking off that because it wasn't that good.
Yeah, I honestly think the game was poorly designed, especially with the levels. I can't stress that enough. As I said to you before the show, you got the fucking giant crushing pillars and you're not even standing near them and they still take you out. I mean, what the fuck's that all about? Then even on the level 2 windmills, I mean, they're impossible to jump onto. I mean, you have to time that so well. Like they don't even give you a chance to actually be like, have a.
And it was one of those ones where you almost had to time it like well before what you believed the jump was. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like the lineup where you're like, okay, whew. It was like you had to jump like here and catch the fucking momentum to keep going, and that might work. You know what I mean? It's not even a given.
And you get the first one and you're like after 50 goes, and then not only that, you got to jump to the second one. So that's another 100 goes. And you're like, I can't win.
And you're sick of watching that fucking video of Sub-Zero falling into the clouds going, ah! Yeah, exactly. You're just like, all right, enough.
I've had a gutful.
And like, dude, the enemies, dude, they're fucking relentless. I mean, we already talked about how they can fully just pull sneak attacks on you because you're just literally running into them. But yeah, dude, I'm not going to say it's like a terrible, terrible game. It's not. I just think nostalgia sometimes gets us in the end, and we remember shit for sometimes better it is, or maybe worse. But it's always good to go back and review it. And I mean, if they were ever to redo this game, and I don't think they ever would, I mean, I would totally pick it up, but I think they would have to do some. It would have to be a whole like rehaul. You know what I mean? New control scheme, cleaning some stuff up. You've got almost 20 solid years of just gaming that can help fix this to this point.
Absolutely.
So, all right, buddy. So from that, I think we're on to our questions. And our questions are going to be a little different this week, everybody. Just because obviously we're not discussing a fighting game. We're discussing a fucking platformer. So, you know, a little different. But when did you first play this, bud?
I think it was, it was a fair few years ago. I think I was like, I don't know, 13, 14. And I only played it once because my mate had it on 64. I never actually had it. It didn't really intrigue me. Like, obviously it's Sub-Zero and I love Sub-Zero that much, but it didn't really grab me because I'm like, well, where are the other characters? I mean, like, yeah, Sub-Zero is cool, but I want to play with, like, as I said, Cabal, you know, any of the other characters. So it didn't really grab me. But yeah, I played it once and that was, actually I might have played it twice and that was enough for me. Yeah, as I said, the levels on this game were absolute bullshit. It just really pissed me off. But yeah, what about you, mate?
So the first time for me was, I believe, actually at KB Toys. They were rocking it. They had it on the PlayStation at the time being when it first came out. So that's when I got to mess with it a little bit. And then I never actually owned a PlayStation myself. I was a 64 boy at the time.
Yes.
But I did get a PS2. So when I got a PS2, I did pick up Mythologies. And so I played it here and there. And that was probably, I don't know, early 2000s. I mean, I already had fucking, when I think I picked it up, Deadly Alliance was already been out. It was actually in between Deadly Alliance and Deception. So it might have been like 2004 I picked this shit up. So I played it a little bit then. Never still beat it, dude, because it was so fucking hard, dude. Like, I don't know, man. I just didn't put into it. So maybe anybody could boo me on that, I guess. But yeah, man, I mean, PlayStation at the game store, dude. That's where I got it. And like I said, not till fucking years later, I picked that shit up. Well, so what system did you play that on, bud?
So yeah, Nintendo 64.
You played it on the 64? Nice.
64, mate. Yeah. I think I might have even smashed the fucking controller and had to get a new one after that game.
Let me ask you, did you have your Rumble Pack when you were playing?
Not for that game. More so GoldenEye and fucking awesome fucking 64 games. So
weird little side note, dude, but I don't know why this is making me go back down memory lane. Just saying Rumble Packs because I haven't had to think about that in a fucking minute, dude. But remember like the Nintendo actual Rumble Pack where you had to add like batteries into it and shit?
Yeah.
And it would be great when you first, like, how fucking loud that shit would be when you added new batteries in, but then by the time they started dying, dude, I straight up had a fucking off-brand like Mad Catz one, right? And I still remember because it was blue, it was smaller, but it didn't take batteries, dude. It went off the power of the controller. This thing was fucking amazing, dude. Like it was so loud, like you could just hear it from like way upstairs, dude. It just like it was fucking ridiculous.
I remember like you'd play like games like Clay Fighter and all that, like Super Smash Brothers, and then after the game, your hands would be just shaking.
Yeah,
like a good solid like 15 minutes.
And not to mention that you got to take that shit out to put your fucking save card in to fucking save that shit. And, buddy.
Days.
Yeah, right. So going to our next question. Ultimately, was Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero enjoyable?
I want to say no, not really. Like, it's a tough question because, as we said, it did have some good things about it, but the majority of it was pretty bad, I found. That's just for me anyway. Like, yeah, like I said, I'd rather play with all the other characters. This sadly didn't really have that about it for me. And I just, well, I haven't really gone back to revisit it since. So that sort of speaks for itself, I guess.
That's fair. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what? And I'm just going to include this with our final thoughts because this is kind of like the same almost question. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree, buddy. Like I said, I think it was more of a nostalgia trip. The fact that like it was cool that we were getting something different from Mortal Kombat. If you were a Sub-Zero boy, obviously it was fucking. Your mind was blown. Holy shit, Sub-Zero's getting his own fucking game. Like, you know what I mean? And it just, you get all this cool back. Like, dude, like the game in itself has given us a lot for the MK universe. And I'm not going to say it hasn't. But ultimately, man, like just going back and just kind of replaying it, even for 5 minutes, I think you can you'll know. You'll be like, oh, huh. And I'm not saying, dude, diehards definitely wouldn't fucking, I mean, dude, you can go to YouTube and find fucking, I watched one guy, he did a straight run through in like an hour and 20 minutes, dude, on extreme hard difficulty. So it's like, kudos to that motherfucker. But it's like, I haven't played that game enough to know where every single little perfect fucking jump is to get like all that bullshit you mentioned before, dude, with the windmills and you know what I mean? Like, I just no, dude. I just don't want to dedicate that kind of time. I'd rather just play the fucking fighter.
Well, yeah, I'm impressed, mate. But fuck me, you mustn't have no life to try and achieve that goal. Oh my god.
Either that, or you just set yourself a goal and you fucking went ham. Something like that.
I succeeded something today. I beat Sub-Zero Mythologies. Well, kudos to you.
Oh my god. So, all right. I think that being said, we are done with that first bad boy. Take a breath, shake it out.
Right.
We're at 40 minutes, buddy. We actually went 40 minutes on that game, but I don't think we're going to go as long on this one.
No.
All right. So we're going to talk about the bastard child of the Mortal Kombat fucking game franchise. And no, I know a lot of people shit on MK versus DC, but fuck you. That's actually still a pretty fun game. Buddy, what are we talking about here?
Mortal Kombat Special Forces from 2000.
Take it away, bud.
So we have the developers of Midway Games, idiots. Publishers Midway Games, idiots. Director
they tried.
Programmers John Walsh, Jonathan Murphy, Daniel Markham. Artist Richard Ho, Carlos Pacina, Herman Sanchez. Our composer was Dan Forden. He's back again.
So I'll take this if you want, bud. Mortal Kombat Special Forces is chronologically the very first game in the Mortal Kombat storyline, as its events takes place even before Mortal Kombat Mythology, Sub-Zero, to which I don't know if we did mention or not, but yes, that does take place before the first tournament. That whole game is all about lead up to the very first tournament. And I apologize if I didn't mention it, but yeah. So the story of the game involves Kano freeing his gang, the Black Dragon, from a maximum security prison. Major Jackson Briggs, seeking revenge for the slaughter of his Special Forces comrades at the hands of the Black Dragon, undertakes a mission to stop them from retrieving an artifact of great power, the Eye of Chitilian? I don't know what the fuck that is, dude. What do you think?
Chitian.
The true power of the artifact is shown in the ending that it can open portals to the other realms. When Jax uses the artifact to teleport himself and Kano back to Earthrealm after defeating him. Woof.
Yes.
Special fucking forces, dude. Oh my god. This game was shit. I never even played it with such shit. This game was such shit. Even Midway, they all fucking do a shit, dude. And we have some stuff in behind the scenes of why they like, you know what I mean? Like, it just gets bad. So what's our character list for this? Because I don't want to go on that you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna rant. But.
So the characters for this joyless shitfest is Jax, Kano, No Face. Is it Tasia?
Tasia, I think.
Tasia, Jarek, Tremor, Gemini.
So this is our first introduction to Tremor, who is a fucking amazing fighter in MKX. Some people don't like him. I thought he was great. I'm finally happy they gave him some recognition in a different game other than fucking Special Forces. No Face, No Face is a fucking weird Bond villain. Like, this game is fucking Jarek, obviously we get an MK fucking 4, but you can go back to our MK4 episode to find out how we felt about his fucking cheap ass. Gemini, I think, was like fucking, she was just some chick on the radio for Jax. Where the fuck's Sonya, dude?
Yeah, we don't actually get to see Gemini in this game.
But where the fuck is Sonya? Where the fuck is Sonya, dude?
She'd be kicking it with Mr. Johnny Cage, I reckon. He'd be showing her a good time. I
think Johnny Cage was filming it during this. If this is like super before everything else, this is actually when Johnny Cage is probably going at the height of his fame.
Very true.
We should get the Johnny Cage spin-off game. Where the fuck is that, dude? Just going around making movies and banging fucking hot chicks.
All right. They should. Right. If they're going to do it, Midway have to make it.
I feel like it would just end up being like a GTA pretty much, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
it'd be an abortion of a game, I tell you.
Right? That's why Midway is no more.
Gone.
Yeah. This wasn't the game that did it, though, surprisingly.
Damn.
But this is a game that definitely put a hiatus on everything. Everything. So before we hit behind the scenes, buddy, is there anything you want to throw in on this real quick?
I could go. I've got a list here. I've actually got a fucking list right here in front of me of how much this game sucks balls. Like, yeah,
that's fucking.
I'll get into that later.
All right, so a little behind the scenes of this game. So of all the MK games, Special Forces is considered to be the worst among fans and critics alike. So yeah, we came together on that one. This had much to do with the fact that many of Midway's staff, including the series' own co-creator, Mr. John Tobias, had left the company in 1999 during mid-production of this game. That's never good, homie. That is that's never good when the director leaves because of just how bad the whole fucking productions is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just no. And if you watch interviews with him, man, like he was kind of pissed. He went off and like fucking formed his own shit after the fact because he was like, "Fuck you guys." But
yeah. I just loved how Ed Boon wipes his hands clean with this fucking game every time it's mentioned.
He does. He literally says, he's like, I had nothing to do with that game. So he literally bastardizes, is I'm saying that right? It's pretty much the bastard stepchild of MK. He just doesn't even acknowledge it. And if anybody brings it up, it's just like, nope. I was over here that day. I was working on MK4. No, he was working on fucking Deadly Alliance at that time. So this was the second game in Mortal Kombat history that was a platformer rather than a fighter. After testing the waters, or the ice that is, with MK mythologies, John Tobias intended to work on a series of platformers to help expand the MK universe. So we mentioned this not too long ago, but they obviously wanted to do more mythologies. That didn't happen.
And how did that work out?
Right. So they went back to the drawing board, and then they ended up with this piece of shit.
How could you actually fucking green light this? I mean, it's all on the board there in front of you. You may as well just write, let's fucking green light a biggest piece of shit.
You know what it is, dude? It's almost like, you can rag me if you want. I love Annihilation, but like you and I said, we know it's a shit movie. But it's Mortal Kombat, so I love it. This is Mortal Kombat, dude, but this is just too much shit with not enough Mortal Kombat rap around it. You know what I mean? Like,
as you said, No Face feels like a Bond villain. This feels like a blaxploitation movie to me, especially with the opening credits. I mean, you get some funky disco bullshit music happening. That was atrocious. It made me feel sick.
It's and the fucking sweet music.
Just childish artwork, man. It's fucking. You couldn't even change my mind. You couldn't even change my mind about this game.
Shout out to Mr. Joe Day. I may want a cage game because I am a fan, but at the same time, I think it'd be a fun game. I could be completely wrong. Could be terrible and very short. But so Special Forces was rushed to completion following Tobias's departure. So obviously the big boy left. He took some people with him. So you lost half of the team in a mid-developed game. And it was Midway knew, you know what I mean? Like they should have just scrapped it at that point. And I don't know if it's maybe because they just had so much money in it, and maybe they thought that just all of us MK heads would fucking just still eat it up regardless because they slapped Mortal Kombat on it, and it's like, hey, buy this.
But why Jax? Why Jax? Why? That's the thing I'm trying to figure out.
So, funny enough, I kind of have the next one goes a little bit with that because it wasn't just supposed to be just Jax. Really? Sonya was actually supposed to be originally in it, and it was supposed to be a split where you would almost Resident Evil, where sometimes you would play as Jax and then sometimes you would play as Sonya. Kind of fitting after coming off, you know what I mean? We've had, I think, 2 Resident Evils out at this point. We're talking by 2000. Maybe even 3, if I apologize. But so she was originally supposed to be playable, and however, due to so many people leaving mid-production, she was omitted. And there were early screenshots, however, that showed her as a playable character and listed her as codename Panther. I actually watched a trailer earlier today, and I was going to get it, but unfortunately it had some of these website all over it. So I was like, nah, fuck that. But this was the OG teaser trailer teasing the game before it was even finished, dude. And it was a full Sonya and Jax trailer. And it fucking looked sweet. If they actually fucking gave us that game, dude, they probably could have did well. But unfortunately, this shit just tanked from the get-go. And so the last one is the med packs in the game actually have the Red Cross logo on them, which is actually not allowed to be used in video games as per the International Committee of the Red Cross.
Fair enough.
I'm surprised they almost didn't get sued for that shit. Or if they did, I couldn't find anything on it. So.
But, yeah. I fucking hate this game.
Oh, man. It was bad. So, yeah, they dropped the MK control scheme of mythologies because they kind of learned from that. All right, I'll give you kudos. But you could literally just go up and beat a motherfucker with the same button until that person was literally gone. So there's no skill involved really into it. The camera was... Well, Brody, you said you got a list of reasons why this is shit. Why don't you give us that list, buddy? If you want to.
Yeah, well, yeah. So the controls are stiff as all fuck. And it has ballless combos. I mean, you just press X, as like you said, until you kill your opponent, and fucking thumbs fall off your hand. It's just, it's just trash. The shitty camera placement from a bird's eye view of the character. I know they were trying to do something different there, obviously. But yeah, I just don't think it works that well. What was the go with the point of view? Like, you can switch to the point of view.
So yeah, there was like 3 points of view. So there was like the normal behind the back, which you get the third person. Then you get the weird like Contra top down shit of I mean, I know from Contra it's been in a bunch of other games, but yeah, it goes this weird top down, almost like Resident Evil's fixed camera, like kind of that feel, but actually not as room based as it used to be, where you'd actually go in and it was just that room is this way, this room was would almost kind of do it on the fly sometimes, depending on where you were on the wall and shit. And then there was a first person fucking point of view for like rocket launchers, I think, or something. Like you could always look first person, but it was stupid because then it narrowed your point of fucking view. So yeah, you could see distance wise, but then you're fucking, you can't see shit on the sides. You're like horse blind.
That's right. So, it's like tunnel vision.
Yeah. Thank you. And not to mention it was like some shitty like night vision green, I think, or something like that. Or like there was like a weird little film over it. Yeah. I don't know, man. They had these like weird little peekable holes and shit that you'd have to like find cracks in the walls to like see what's in the next rooms. And our buddy Pete Ward, he actually mentioned Fighting Force 64, and he felt like this was kind of a ripoff of that. And I actually have to agree with him.
Yes,
it's I mean, I would even say it's trying to be like, I don't know if you ever played Die Hard, the arcade game, but it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, mixed with like trying to be a 007 game. It was fucking weird, dude. Like,
yeah, and it just had that mediocre level design too. Like, it was just very basic.
The music was fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
The music sounds like 70s porn music, dude. not good stuff either, you know what I mean?
Nah.
Little too off tempo.
Sounds like the outro music to Lights, Camera, Exploitation.
No, dude, I want to
porn vibe.
No, because that shit's good. That shit's funny.
That's what I mean. That shit slaps.
Yeah.
This fucking game.
This is just like, yeah, this is bad. All right, man. So we don't have a lot of questions with this one, but my first question is, did you even ever play this piece of shit?
And the simple answer to that, John, is no. I watched one of my mates play this game, and I got him to actually show me why this should be a Mortal Kombat game. And he went through everything with, like, you try to show me everything about the game, and I ended up walking away. I was like, that's not a fucking Mortal Kombat game. Far from it. I know you got the characters in there, but it's just not happening for me.
Yeah, it's I unfortunately did never play this. I tried emulating this for this episode, but honestly, after doing enough research and just kind of knowing already going into it, and I did think they eventually ported this to a Dreamcast. I think they gave it a Dreamcast port. It was specifically only for the PS1 when it initially dropped. But dude, this shit dropped with a $20 price tag, brand new. That is, I mean, okay, so you're talking 2000s, you're talking high-based games. Even 64 brand new good games were like $50 off the bat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, best case for us, you would get a new game and it might be like bouncing at 40. But dude, you would never get a game brand new off the shelves $20. That it speaks volumes.
For itself.
Yeah, it just crap, dude. So our next question's already answered then, because we both said no. So if so, it was when. So fuck it, dude. Let's move on to our final thoughts of this piece of shit called Mortal Kombat Special Forces.
Well, I have to say, Midway can get fucked with this game, and I'm glad Ed Boon wipes his hands clean with this bullshit.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could say anything better than that, dude. Like, it just, I mean, you know what, man? If you played it and you have some keen memories of it, maybe with some buddies, I'm not trying to tarnish your memories with your buddies, because that was probably the fun part of the experience, not this game. Maybe you were shitting on this game, so maybe that was the fun part of the experience. You know what I mean? Like, but it was one that never interested me. I never really even, like, I don't even remember it being advertised, honestly, dude. You know, like, I think I might have saw it at KB Toys back in the day, like, once, but I didn't have a PlayStation 1. And then by the time I got a PS2, I never gave a shit to go find it like I did with Mythologies. You know what I mean? Like, even that one, at least I had a bit of an itch, like, dude, I should go get that, because I always kind of wanted it. But yeah, man, it's just, like,
I would actually. So yeah, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, when you can go find it and it's still going for like $20 to $15 on eBay for whatever copy you could find. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have any added value to it anymore.
No, absolutely not. I would love to hear from a diehard fan of this game and listen to them talk about it from their point of view onto why this film is great. It'd be very rare to actually find that person, but if there is someone out there, shoot us a message on why this game is a fucking great game, because this is far from it, in my opinion.
Listen, I'm sure there's a fan out there, man. There's fanboys for everything. You know what I mean? No matter how terrible it is, somebody's going to somebody's gonna try to defend it some way or another. I feel if they gave us Sonya, like, okay, dude, when Tobias left, that should have been the biggest fucking red flag. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Midway should have just dumped it, like I said earlier, and just cut your fucking losses. But no, they were like, no, we're gonna shovel fucking through and we're gonna sell something because we promised it. But it's just
they couldn't even deliver with the promise. They had Sonya in it, then Kanda.
Right. And it's like, dude, no, like, I'm not saying like people don't like Jax and shit like that, but it's just, was Jax really that like big of a character? Like, okay,
No.
mythologies I get. Fucking Sub-Zero's an OG ninja, and everybody fucking loved the ninjas. You know what I mean? Like, those were we discussed this in episode 1. If you didn't catch it, go back and check that shit out. Everybody played the ninjas though. And so knowing you're like, that shit was I understand it. It's an instant sell. You know what I mean? But fucking Jax, dude, like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just,
yeah. No, I like Jax as a character in the fucking Mortal Kombat games. Don't get me wrong, but why would you do a spin-off with this character that's not really well established like Sub-Zero and Scorpion? I mean, when I think of Mortal Kombat, every time I think of Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Like, they're the selling points of that game.
Yeah, right. And they're the Mickey Mouse of the fucking Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they're the icons, dude. And it's just, Jax has got great backstory, and especially in like the newer games, dude, where everybody has good backstory in this. I'm not going to say that. It's just, this game was just, it just was fucked from the start. I mean, they tried, but I don't know. I know there was a couple other ideas potentially coming off the mythologies, because obviously they were going to do a Scorpion one or something, I believe, after that, and then they almost wanted to do a Baraka one, which was interesting. And I don't know if Baraka could sell an entire game or not. To me, that'd be questionable as well. And then obviously there was, ideas around like Liu Kang and stuff, which we will discuss.
Yes.
But not this episode. So
No.
we are done with those 2 games. We're going to wrap it up here. Buddy, what's in store for next week?
Well, we are following up on a great game next week, actually.
Remember?
Oh, sorry.
No, next week is going to be a special episode.
Sorry. All right. Let me back it up. Next week, we are going to be talking about the highly anticipated film of 2021, and that is Mortal Kombat, the reboot remake.
So this series was started with an idea of us doing 6 episodes, to which, ta-da, here we are already. And technically, we've only actually recorded 4. So, but it was supposed to be the end finale was going to be the Mortal Kombat movie. But the way we've been going and how much shit we've realized that we could do with potentially this show, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't going to be one that's going to stay on forever. It's one that could always come back if we get some new iterations and stuff. That's not being said. But we still got a lot of shit to talk about.
Oh, yes.
But this whole podcast started because this movie was fucking coming. And Brody and I have been wanting to talk about it. So for next week, I want to say to our listeners, it's going to be spoiler heavy. I think what we'll do is the first 5 minutes, we'll give a non-spoiler review as best we can.
Yep.
And then from that moment, we'll say, okay, guys, pause it. Go watch the movie and then come on back. So we are going to take a little hiatus from games next week. We're going to try to, that might be a doozy of an episode. That could go into a 2-hour episode. We'll see what we can do. We might go a little Goremore format on that. Obviously, questions being a little different, but I think you and I know that format best. And so we're going to go with that. And then after the movie, which will actually be Brody's birthday episode. So that's also amazing. Yeah. After that, we're going to go back to games, and we're going to continue on with the spinoffs with Shaolin Monks.
Yes.
Amazing game, and can't wait to discuss that.
Great game.
Other than that, buddy, I think that's it. I think we're good. Unless you got any final things to say.
No, I'm pretty good, mate. Yeah. Special Forces is a piece of shit. I'll say it again.
Yeah. Mythologies was something. They tried. Yep. They went to the drawing board. They did worse. And then they went back to the fighting generation, obviously. So thank God we got Deadly Alliance. And you can catch our review of Deadly Alliance of episode 3. And you can check us out actually on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, I believe, and potentially any other else you can catch your podcast streaming or any of your audio podcast streaming. Also, you can go out and let me shout out our website, projectlouder.net. You can subscribe to the mailing list on there. You can catch all our lovely shows, including obviously Fatality, Gore and More, Lights, Camera, Action, Big Bad, Beetle Bro, Rants from the Black Lodge, Box Office Banner. I could keep going. We got fucking podcasts for days. We got ones coming up. We got a new one on the cusp that we're working on called Joints and Joysticks. It'll be another video game theme one, and that's going to be more of like playthroughs and stuff like that, and more of a basis. So, we might get a couple of MK episodes on there too. Who knows? I mean, it's not saying it's not going to happen on this, dude. I feel like at one point, Brody and I definitely have to square up, and we got to, get some video capture on that shit. We just got to decide which MK to actually do it on.
Special Forces.
No. Oh man. But no, it's we got some more episodes in store. We actually been brainstorming with the whole Project Louder gang. So hopefully we're gonna get some guest appearances coming on here from some of our other podcast hosts and a couple of our friends. And yeah, man, this little project here has definitely expanded well more than what Brody and I initially even thought, or I think any of us actually.
Damn straight. I think we planned for 6 episodes at the start.
At the minimum, actually at the max, I would say. I think it was just 6. We were planning for 1. We were literally just going to do a one-off of the fucking movie. And yeah, here we are, 6 episodes. And we're not even in. Dude, we got Shadow Monks, we got MKDC. We can talk Injustice. We got comics. We haven't even hit the fucking movies.
The 3 fucking movies.
Yeah. You got 3 fucking, you got the 2 live action, the animated, you got the series, we got the fucking cartoon series, we got comics. Dude, we got fucking, oh my God. And we got wrestlers, we got dude, it's crazy, man. Like, who would have ever thought?
You name it, we got it.
Yeah, we're going to try to bring as much as we fucking can for you guys. And last but not least, shout out to all you listeners out there. Thank you so much for all the subscribers. Honestly, it's all you guys. This is for you. I really hope you guys enjoy it. I mean, obviously, you guys, Brody and I love doing this shit every fucking Saturday night. I have a blast just hanging out with this motherfucker shit and the shit with MK. It's great.
Likewise, brother, likewise.
But dude, we've been jumping up every episode with more and more subscribers, dude, on all the podcast, on the especially the audio ones more so. And
yeah, we really appreciate it. It's been a blast.
It's amazing to see the numbers, because honestly, I was just like, dude, if we get 50 listeners, we're good. And it's just like, at this point, I was like, holy shit, dude. And where you and I discussed last, dude, and then TJ just dropped the new numbers. I was like, holy fuck again, dude. and not only that, but like, shout out to all the other Project Louder shows, man. Kudos to all you guys. You're all doing a great job. The numbers are obviously reflecting on it. And yeah, man. So
and to go to Project himself.
Yeah.
Bowser.
Absolutely, man. None of this would be possible without Mr. TJ Bowser himself. I know I shout this motherfucker out probably every episode. You guys are probably like, really? Here comes this again. But I don't care, man. This is almost like my ad block here. Without him, none of this shit would be possible. It's fucking great. And that motherfucker just keeps ideas. That dude just slings out ideas every fucking day, man. And it's great. On top of that, like I said, go to projectlouder.net, check out the podcast tab, check out that sweet fucking merch tab. Other than that, man, I think that's it. I think we can sign out.
Hell yeah, man.
All right. So, guys, this is Big Johnny D, your Fluff Master Supreme, saying see you next week.
This is your DKB signing out saying sayonara, bitches.
Dun, 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 dun.